Salt Lake Rally. Hundreds gathered in Salt Lake this weekend to support the movement that's spreading across the world. Fare. UTA is raising their prices again when you could see a hike in your bus fare. Utah's Hobbits. 3 BYU students are getting noticed in their quest to star in the new Lord of the Rings movie. I'm Rachel Schwartz.
And I'm Angela Santos. It's Monday, October 17th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. Award-winning 11 News at noon.
The Occupy Wall Street movement has made its way to Utah. 11 News reporter Brooke Davis headed out to Salt Lake this weekend to talk with the people who are starting a fire of their own under Capitol Hill.
The Occupy Salt Lake rally had their highest attendance over the weekend. About 400 people showed up. They've set up camp downtown and say they're not moving until they get what they want.
They walk under the same banners, all chant the same words, but protesters have assembled for their own reasons, all centered around corporate greed and a bad economy.
My issue is the corruption of money in politics. You know, everyone's here because the 99% don't have a voice and the 1% do. And personally, I feel like that's because money has taken over the voice of the people.
Like, there's a plate of 12 cookies, the rich take 11 of them, the rich corporations, and then they tell the Tea Party, the unions and the immigrants are trying to take the last cookie. Yes. That's what we're angry about.
Although Wall Street is thousands of miles away, the Occupy Salt Lake Facebook group has over 7,000 members. Their goal, solidarity.
So, you know, I've been following the Wall Street movement ever since it started, and really that's what we're here for, to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Wall Street.
When I asked protesters what they'd like the end result to be, no one really had the answer.
That's I don't know, like,
people in Washington clearly do not have the answer. Neither do we. You know, if they don't have the answer, they can't really ask us to have the answer, but we're here to talk about it and start the dialogue.
Statistically, the average age of the protesters is 20 to 26, and the most commonly used words are jobs, debts, work, college, and student loans. So college students are actually at the heart of this movement. Angela?
Thanks, Brooke. Nearly 1,200 new jobs are coming to Utah. The Governor's Office of Economic Development approved a tax credit for 3 companies to lure them further into the state. There will be 200 new high-tech jobs, nearly 300 manufacturing jobs, and Home Depot will also build a new facility in Ogden, creating more than 600 positions.
After a 2-week break, lawmakers in Salt Lake will reunite to finalize new congressional boundaries. The special session today comes after the House and Senate failed to compromise. The map divides Democratic-leaning Salt Lake County into 3 districts. Activist groups are planning a rally tonight to protest the division.
Presidential hopeful Mitt Romney still reigns king of fundraising in Utah. Supporters donated over $650,000 to his presidential campaign in the last few months. Meanwhile, Utah's ex-governor Jon Huntsman raked in only about half as much. Huntsman dipped a toe in his own finances to pump up his campaign, and so far Mitt Romney has raised nearly $2 million in Utah.
The Utah Transit Authority says they are expanding their budget for next year because of an anticipated spike in commuters. The increase in ridership means passengers will need to pay more for fare this coming May. UTA hopes to use this money to complete a new rail line that will take passengers to the Salt Lake Airport from North Temple. Other projects include a Draper Tracks expansion and a new line from downtown Salt Lake to Provo. $3 million? How about $4 million instead? Utah Valley University announced that it has received $4 million in new scholarship donations and pledges. Last year, UVU President Matthew Holland issued a challenge to raise $3 million by the 2011 scholarship ball. Now he says the $4 million raised marks a new record for the university.
Police rescued one woman hiking with friends at Bridalveil Falls after she fell dozens of feet, breaking both of her feet. The 30-year-old woman first fell 30 feet, then tumbled another 60, landing just above the first tier of falls. The Utah County Sheriff's search and rescue team positioned themselves on the hillside to carefully lower the injured woman down. A life flight helicopter took her to a hospital to receive treatment for her broken bones. 2 teenage girls are dead and another is in critical condition after they were hit by a train in Spanish Fork Canyon. Utah County Sheriff says Essa Ricker, Kelsey Webster, and Savannah Webster were taking pictures on the tracks and most likely didn't hear the train approaching. Essa and Kelsey died instantly, and Savannah is currently at Primary Children's Medical Center.
When 11 News at Noon returns, IndyCar collision. A Las Vegas IndyCar race ends in a disaster that affects the whole racing community.
Hobbit hopefuls. These BYU students want tickets to New Zealand. Why they're not shy about their plans to get to the shop.
An Indy 500 race gone tragically wrong, the banning of a popular convenience item in Portland, and a national monument built for a national treasure. This is your look at news from across the nation. A tragic racing accident claimed the life of 2-time Indy 500 winner Dan Weldon. Weldon was racing in Las Vegas when he was caught in a 15-car pileup. Medics airlifted him to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead a few hours later. The other racers performed a 5-lap salute to honor their fallen friend. Paper or plastic? Shoppers in Portland, Oregon will no longer have this option at the checkout. A city ban took effect this weekend, banning non-reusable plastic bags at checkout counters. Mayor Sam Adams says the ban has strong support, but some shoppers may find changing habits hard. Stores that fail to comply with the ban could face a $500 fine. And a monument to a civil rights icon is finally standing in Washington, D.C. After waiting for 10 years, hundreds gathered in the nation's capital to dedicate the new Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. The 1,600-ton structure was delayed by hurricanes and an earthquake, but now the Stone of Hope is complete. President Obama and King's children were among those celebrating his legacy. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Angela?
Thanks, Rachel. You are what you watch. A new study from BYU shows teens who encounter profanity and violence in TV shows and video games are more likely to swear and to be aggressive. Researchers say the study is the first of its kind to show any harmful relationship between media and behavior of adolescents. Dr. Laura Stocksdale says the take-home message for parents is to pay attention to what your kids take in. BYU is kicking off National Chemistry Week by heating, freezing, and blowing things up in an attempt to light the fuse of interest for those in attendance. Professor David Dearden says that chemistry is part of everyday life, but he thinks it just doesn't get the respect it deserves. The nightly demonstration wants to show that chemistry is not only important, but also really cool. Provo isn't exactly Middle Earth, but that isn't stopping 3 BYU students from channeling their inner hobbit. 11 News reporter Anna Hayes caught up with these Lord of the Rings fans on their quest to become hobbits.
John Story, Mitch Stevens, and Jonathan Wright are 3 BYU advertising students on a noble quest. They're taking what they've learned in class and putting it to use, using the power of social media to become hobbits. It's strange but true. These hopeful hobbits go by Olo, Barry, and Toad. Their goal? To catch the attention of film director Peter Jackson and be extras in the new Hobbit movie being filmed in New Zealand. They've named their quest The Road to the Shire.
Yeah, we're going. We're going no matter what. Peter Jackson, get ready for us. We're coming.
We cannot do this alone.
There's thousands of people who follow their tweets, like their Facebook page, visit their website, and watch their very creative YouTube videos. They want celebrities like Justin Bieber to join their fellowship and donate money. And they've got some pretty devoted followers helping them out.
And there's a whole clan of Hobbit Chicas. You know, Bieber has his Bieber believers. Road to the Shire is coming after you, Biebs. We've got Hobbit Chicas.
Once Toad told me about his Hobbit Chicas, I started thinking to myself, I could be a pretty good Hobbit, especially when I get into character with my Hobbit cloak and my Hobbit ears. Okay, so I might not be as convincing as Olo, Barry, and Toad, probably because getting into character is something these Hobbit lovers take pretty seriously.
Yeah, I think just putting on the stuff gets you into it. It does.
The decked-out hobbits have been spotted all over campus and all across Utah. They're hard to miss with their long ears, bare feet, and their little hobbit voices.
I think through this process I've been inspired to talk how I really talk, and you know, this is all for a good cause.
Being a hobbit and a student isn't an easy task. The guys are raising money and awareness 24 hours a day, even when they're just out doing errands.
It's way bigger than most people would think. Like, some people just think, like, they get on the website and they're like, get a job! And we're like, we do have a job. This is like a second full-time job. So, but we love it.
If the Hobbits pull it off and land a spot on the big screen, the road to the Shire will be a witness to the power of social media and how 3 college students turned their Lord of the Rings obsession into a dream come true. In Provo, Anna Hayes, 11 News.
If you're interested in following the Hobbits on their journey to New Zealand, you can visit Anna's story on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
When 11 News at Noon returns, Spirit Contest. One BYU cheerleader has made it to the finals in a national spirit competition. Stay with us to find out who this cheerleader is.
Photo shoot. One Ohio couple chose an interesting backdrop for their wedding photos.
And it was a shorts and t-shirts kind of weekend. But is it time to pull out those jackets? Find out when your 11 weather returns.
Sarah, I really enjoyed the summer temperatures we had this weekend. It was great.
Yes, me too. But you know, it is October, so how much longer is it gonna last?
Yeah, we did feel that kind of summer weekend, but we did have some rain last night and it cleared up for us this morning. So it wasn't really cold this morning when we headed to campus. Looking outside today, we see the BYU campus with a beautiful sunshiny day with a couple clouds in the sky, but those great blue skies to enjoy, of course. Currently outside it is 54 degrees with 62% humidity. We're seeing those effects of that rain that we did feel last night. For your commute home, you don't have to worry too much because it is going to heat up to 65, cool down a few degrees, and so when you head home to your families, you are going to feel that kind of cooler weather, but not too much, again, not too much to worry about. Looking across our United States, we do see a storm that did go over Utah. We felt some rain last night, and then it cleared up as we headed into the later part of the morning, and now it's on its way over to Colorado and to the east and midwestern part of our country. So we felt that cooler morning, but then it did heat up. It is going to warm up for our Utah highs today. We're looking at some 50s and some 60s, 60 in Logan, 50 in Provo. Price is actually experiencing some strong winds, so they have a little bit of wind warning there on our eastern part of our state. And of course, our St. George friends, they're experiencing that nice 80, 82 degree weather. There in southern Utah. So for their 5-day forecast, they're looking at some cloud coverage over the Monday and Tuesday, but as they head into the rest of the week, they're seeing some nice weather with those 80s. So they can make sure that they have their shades out because it is going to be a very nice week for them. Monday and Tuesday for northern Utah, they're seeing some 60s, of course. Wednesday, we're seeing a little bit of a blunder with 20% chance of rain. And then it's going to clear right up as we head into Thursday and Friday, and even hitting a 70 on Friday. So I'm really excited about that. So we're seeing some sunshine this week. We're seeing a little bit of rain maybe on Wednesday, so make sure you have your jackets out because it is fall. So
yes. Good. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So the Cougars did really well this weekend.
Yeah, they took a big win in Corvallis. Brian, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty amazing performance. They almost broke the 500-yard barrier on offense for the first time all season. And that was in large part due to a couple of Cougars who had breakout performances. After the break, I'll show you who and what it may mean for the future. And one Cougar cheerleader is showing how her team spirit is really paying off. So stick around. One BYU cheerleader has her squad and the rest of the student body cheering her on in a nationwide spirit contest. 11 News sports reporter Brianna Carr got an exclusive interview with the cheerful contestant.
BYU cheerleader Whitney Wanacott's sublime sideline performances tipped her off to BYU spirit coordinator Jody Maxfield as a perfect candidate for a national spirit contest. Roles are reversed for BYU cheerleader Whitney Wanacott now that her fate as a contestant in the Athlon Sports Sideline Spirit Contest is in the hands of texting voters.
You know, so it's definitely something different for me because I am so used to being the one supporting the other players or supporting the teams, and now it's everyone supporting me. And
Wanacott supporters texted until their thumbs were numb in hopes of casting one more vote to put her on top of the nationwide cheerleading pyramid. Contest coordinator Kelly Urbanek even called Wanacott and told her an obscene amount of people voted for her, over 2,500 votes in just 1 week. The annual contest looks for one collegiate cheerleader or dancer with the most school spirit. For spirit coordinator and coach Jody Maxfield, Wanacott embodies exactly what BYU Cougar spirit looks like.
I think, you know, everybody in the stands, when they see her get up on a stunt and she smiles, and she's just so exciting to watch and has such a great sense of, you know, her personality is just so vivacious, and yeah, she's great.
Wanacott won round 2 earlier today in order to move forward in the finals. The final round isn't until November, but it's worth the wait. If Wanacott wins the entire contest, she will receive $1,000 in personal scholarship, as well as $2,000 that will go toward her spirit squad.
I love that I can do this for my team. It's more of a competition, and it's going to help me.
Whitney supporters will have to wait until the end of next month to text their votes. For more information about the Athlon Sports Sideline Spirit Contest, you can go to our website 11news.byu.edu. Brian?
Thanks, Brianna. After a story like that, I'm left debating whether it's people like Whitney or new starting quarterback Riley Nelson that has helped the Cougars get to their 5-2 record. As far as video from Corvallis goes, the Cougars' success looks to be more dependent on Nelson. Here's showing how tough he really is, getting popped, but bouncing right back up. Hands the ball off to Michael Elisa, who punches it into the end zone for his first career touchdown run. He's proving to be a real difference maker. Second half now all tied up at 14 when Nelson connects with Cody Hoffman. He finished with a career high of 162 yards receiving, and the Cougars never looked back. Then in another career first, it was a day full of career firsts, J.D. Falslev puts the icing on the cake with this touchdown. Cougars win 38-28 and are now one win away from qualifying for the Armed Forces Bowl. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to get that win because next week we're playing Idaho State. So that's bad mouth Idaho State.
Yeah, what are you saying here, Brian?
But I think we're going to get the 6-win mark and head on into the Armed Forces Bowl.
Well, that's good news. Still to come on 11 News at noon, protest pictures. An Ohio couple poses for photos on their big day with a crowd that didn't come for the cake. We'll be right back.
A bride and groom in Ohio took a twist on original wedding plans when they incorporated the Occupy Cincinnati movement into their special day. Before the ceremony, the couple made a detour to take pictures among protesters and to support their friends. They say they wanted to bring attention to the movement as well as remember their wedding day. They say if they weren't busy getting married, they would have been downtown protesting. Now, it's not exactly traditional. I don't know how I feel about it. It's interesting, but
I'd want a fairy tale, not a protest.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. And that's your 11 News at noon for Monday, October 17th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching and have a great afternoon.